Very good morning, you craft lot. I'm so excited today because today I'm going to be showing you something where you can use your sort of jewelry making, sewing skills to do wall art. So you're going to be doing bead embroidery. I just really love them. The canvas in our kits are a proper art canvas, so it's really a thick material. Really easy to stitch the beads on. There is only a couple of different stitches you need to learn. I'm going to show it to you just in a sec. They look really fantastic because the canvas is an art canvas, so the colors what comes through behind the beads just looks like really like a proper picture, a proper piece of art what you could put up in your home. I love it. I got 3 on the go already, but I'm gonna showing to you how to do them. So there is different kits on the website. These are mini kits where you get your canvas, and in fact when I turn you down on my mat and I show you, I will open it up what you get in your kit exactly. Then we have our medium size kits. They're just a little bit bigger. We got some lovely Christmas ones, and then we have some big kits, which these ones I got out, and it's on my I bought one of these embroidery frames, and it's on the embroidery frame already, so I'm just going to show you. I stretched the fabric on there so I get a better quality stitching. And we have some canvas only. Now, I know loads of you got Tahoe seed beads already, so I just wanted to get some canvas kits to just sort of just make it cheaper, because all you're really paying for is the canvas, and the chart is already on there what sort of colors of seed beads you have to use. And these ones are the codes are for precious beads, but you can match it up to your Tahoe beads. You can use any beads you have. They are really great. And if you just want to have a quick try out, and you're on a budget, perhaps one of these ones you can try out with your own beads at home. But they are really great sort of scenes as well. Right, so let's get started. And I'm just gonna pop these to the side here. Right, so let me show you the big one quickly before I turn you down and I'll show you the stitching. So the big one I have on an embroidery frame. I got this from Amazon. I think it was £24. I had to add a little padding behind here, just sort of a little kitchen towel, so it becomes nice and tight. But I love the image, and you can see on there that you're going to be stitching on the beads where you got your little ovals and little circles. I only started to do a little bit of the white ones properly. You can't see it very well there, but there is more to come. The great thing about these kits, where they does come with the beads, so let me just show you. I'll pick up the little tray where I have the beads. So just turn this around. You get all the different colors, all the different sizes what you need. So I think there is 33 different colors of seed beads to go with that kit, and that's all included in there with the bigger kit. So there's a really great way to start as well, because you don't have to match any of the beads up. You can just start straight stitching. Right. Let me just quickly say hello to everybody. Morning, Linda, Dee, Diana, Dee, Jan, Debbie, Brenda, Alicia, Jackie, Francis, Diane, Paula, Judith, Rachel, Maxine, Camille, Lucy, Mandy, Carol, Cheryl, Isla, Chris, Helen, Lucy's saying she's excited to see this. I'm really excited to do them as well. So I've got 3 on the go, as I said. Morning, Doris, Margaret, Michelle, Lorna, Marianne, Sandra, Jean, Alison, Debbie, Pamela, Sam, Margaret. Oh, there's so many of you lovelies are here as well. Right, so Simon has given us an offer this morning. So you can have 10% off the kits from our website if you would like to purchase one, which is sort of even more designs to get, even more reasons to get your designs what you like. So if you put Abris in the checkout, in the discount box, which is ABRIS, you get 10% off of your order. for the kids, 10% off the kids. I think it's just you know, just even more reason to invest in one. I'm just going to bring the camera down just a tiny bit so I can really show you the stitch. Right, so I want to show you this first. This is one of the which I'm sort of maybe a third way through doing this one. Now this one is one of our canvas only kits. The beads are Toho seed beads, so these are we stock all of these seed beads, and I just sort of went along the chart at the bottom and matched my seed beads up. So I used a white one. I know this one showed a grey one, but I went with a cream one in the end, and a lilac-y one, a pink one, a purpley one, which at first I wasn't too sure, but I think it's going to look really great. And I got 3 greens in there as well. So it's really, you know, this one has only got 8 different, it was quite easy to match it up. Now, there is 2 different stitches in the kits itself. So if you look at your canvas quite carefully, you have a round dot, or you have an oval dot, and in fact I think it will be better if I show you one which contains both. Let's have a look which one. This one, this little one contains both designs. So I'm just going to open this up just to sort of show you. This one is one of the mini kits, so it comes with all the beads as well. So I'm going to bring this up right nice and close to you. So you got your round dots. The round dots got little tiny dots sort of in the corners around them. So when you have a round dot, you need to stitch the bead diagonally. So you're going to go from one corner, the top right corner, to the bottom left corner, and gonna go along all the way. Very much like half a cross stitch, I suppose you would do there, but it is like, you know, every single time when you go through with your thread, you add a seed bead to cover those little dots. And the other one is a little ovals on there. So when you get the ovals, like here, which we got little scarfy for the little bear, I think it's really cute. So when you have your ovals, you're doing more of sort of a long stitch, I guess, and you're gonna sort of stitching up and over, and you want to do a nice little row of them. But I'm gonna show you both of them how to do them, because this is the only 2 stitch what you need to know to complete any of the pictures, and they look really great. And you know, they do take a little bit of a time. I think the third of this picture I spent on this took me probably about 3-4 hours, I guess. So a whole picture would be perhaps a whole day's of work, but I think it's really worth to do them because they look really, really beautiful. Those, I think, is something different about them. The beads just sort of sit there really nice and straight. I know many of you have tried some of the what they call the diamond art pictures, when you have to stick the beads on with like a little applicator, and it's on a sticky surface, but you know, we haven't really had those for quite long. So what happens when that sticky surface dries out? Perhaps your you know, crystals can fall off. I'm not really sure, but with this one, you're stitching down every single bead, so you know this picture is gonna be a picture in 50-60 years time, and it's going to last a long time. And it's what a great way to do somebody a really nice present, or you know, something for Christmas, a birthday, something what they can display. I think it's just really great. Right, so let me show you the stitch on this, which is the corner to corner. Have you got any questions? If you got any question, please start your comment with saying question so I can read it out. Otherwise, I know quite a lot of you talk amongst each other and then I might miss it. So if you do have a question, please do start the text, the comment with saying question, and then I will do my best to read it out. I haven't got a lovely Molly here today. It's her day off today, and I'm all on my own. Right, so from the chart, I know which seed bead is gonna come next. So it's gonna be number 3, which I chosen. Number 3 is color number 127. I choose them from the Toho range. And quite simply, I'm just gonna pick up a seed bead, let it drop all the way down, and I'm gonna bring you closer a little bit actually, so you can see it better. So I don't have to lift it up. Sorry, wobbling camera, just coming in nice and close. That's right. So let the bead go all the way down to the bottom, and as you're coming out, the top corner with your thread, the top corner of that little dot, we're just going to go in the bottom corner. And when I pull this through, you can see that seed bead is going to just sit into place, just jump into place where it needs to be. And then I'm going to come back up the top corner of the next little round mark on my canvas, and then I'm going to pick up the next bead. So far it's really easy. I'm just going up and down, backwards and frontwards in like a zigzag motion. So I'm coming out of the top there. To bring it up, can you see better? I'm coming out to the top, and I'm just going to go in through the bottom and pull it through. Now, if you have got an embroidery hoop or an embroidery frame, do put your canvas on there, because if you have it on embroidery frame, it stretches it out and you get a really good tension with it. I didn't add the frame on this one because I wanted to show you quite nice and close, and didn't want it to get right in the way. So I just stitched to the bottom, then I'm jumping to the next little circle right at the top, so the top right corner, and I'm gonna pick up another bead and gonna go down to the bottom right corner. So in your kits, whichever you go for, if you go for a canvas only, then which this one what I'm doing, you're gonna have to match it up with some Toho size 11 seed beads. They work perfectly with them. If you go for any of the other kits which already contains the seed beads themselves, there is a needle in there as well. The only thing is not in there is a thread which we using Superlon AA thread. And again, what is so great about Superlon thread, and I can't stress that enough, that so now we on to the next color here. So that's number 4. So that's going to be a slightly different color, a pink one I need to pick up and pull this all the way down. So with the Superlon thread, because it comes in so many different colors, you can really match the color of the thread to the beads you're using. So you can use one generic thread, I suppose. You can use a white one, but you could really, especially with this design, on the green I could have used the green thread, and on the pink I could have used sort of a pink thread to really make those little ends, as you can see, those little stitches disappear as well. So that's it, that's one of the stitches. So let me show you one more time. I'm coming at the top right corner. Oh, Lauren is saying, question, do you get 10% off all arborists, or is just the ones on the tutorial page? I think it's across the whole range. So if you wanted to, I will do another video on the brooches themselves in a couple of weeks, because they do use the same technique, how to stitch your beads to the front, but sort of using a different technique to do the back. So what I thought, if you do the pictures this time and just get familiar how to do the stitching, stitch the beads onto the canvas itself, and then we will do another one with the brooches and do a brooch itself. So again, I'm moving up with the colors. I'm there number 5, so I'm going to pick up number 5 now. I'm coming out to the top right corner, and I'm going to go down the bottom left. And as you can see, the beads are sitting right sort of in the same direction. They're just jumping in there and coming back up. I mean, I'm sure that many of you are quite experienced in cross stitch and any of the other crafts. What I can do to speed up the process a little bit, if I didn't add this to a frame for a smaller picture, it would be sort of quite easy to do it. That I'm gonna pick up a bead, my next bead, and I'm gonna hold my fabrics on a little bit of an angle, so my finger is just right underneath it. And with the same motion, I can stitch down in the corner and bring my needle up in the top where I need to be adding the next bead. So if you do it this way, you have to be very careful that your tension is really even, so you don't pull and pinch your fabric together, because this is a proper art canvas. But this just makes life a little bit easier and it speeds up. So we need color 2 now, your process. It's like how you would be doing a cross stitch, but each one of us, I guess, got different ways how we like to hold things, or how we like to, for best result, use an embroidery hoop or an embroidery frame. But my tension is quite good, so I can sort of cheat my way this way and get it done twice as fast, I guess. So yeah, do have a go. And if you have any of the kids have a go, do put a picture up in one of our groups, because I love to see what you're making. If you are on here, you're on Totally Beads. We have the Handmade by Totally Bead is probably the one which is most used, I guess. I'm just popping this to the side, and I'm gonna get this one out, and I'm gonna show you the other stitch on this one. So I love to see what you've been making. Right, so this one is one of our mini embroidery kits. And let me just tell you how much this one's cost. Let me just find it there, one sec. This one is $13.99, and you get 10% off of this with the code ARBIS, which is ABRIS, at the checkout. So this one has the 2 different stitches. So it's got the circle ones we just been doing, and it's got the oval ones, which are slightly different. This one is a complete kit, so it does come with seed beads themselves, and all you need to add is a piece of thread. So I'm going to use, just need to get my double A out. I'm going to use a blue. Is that blue goes better with it or not? Actually, I think it's going to be this one. This blue is probably going to disappear better on this part of it, and I might use a green on the other side later on. Right, so I'm just going to thread my needle. There is a little needle comes with the kit as well. But if you like if you are like me, there is no, you're not short of needle. You will have needles galore at home, like I do. Most of them are bent, but hey ho, they still work. So because we need to secure the thread to our art, and I find it easier not to work with a very long pieces of thread, sort of sewing backwards and forwards with the motion. You don't have to stretch your arm out too much, and the ends are gonna go on the back side of your fabric anyway, so you're not gonna be visible. So just make life easier. I know you're gonna have to thread more thread and come back and add more, but it will be easier on you. So I'm just gonna do a little knot to the bottom of my thread, just like that. And I'm going to trim the ends right to the knot, because I don't want ends are hanging down there. And then I'm going to come through. So I'm going to do this row for you. And this one is a darker purple, like an aubergine color with a light white outline of it. So if I look on the chart here on the side, the darker purple with the light line of it is number 6. So because it comes with the beads comes with the kit, I can find number 6, which is there. Just take it off, and I know this is quite good because they are stapled down, so they stay nice and neat. I'm just going to take number 6 off and get some of these beads out to the side. Right, so I want to come out in between the 2 of my ovals. So I'm not coming out right at the end. I want to come out between the first 2 what I'm going to be stitching, and pull my thread up. I'm going to pick up a bead, and I'm going to go down at the end and pull just after the last one, and pull my needle through and you can see that bead just gonna sit on the top. Now I'm gonna jump ahead the bead I just added and the next one, and I wanna come out between number 2 and number 3, just right in the middle of number 2 and number 3, little oval on my chart. Pull my thread through, and I'm gonna add another seed bead. Let this go all the way down, and now I'm gonna go down just between number 1 and number 2. And if I turn this around, because I used a different thread, you can see my stitching is sort of overlapping like a long stitch as I'm going along, and I'm gonna have sort of coming along. It's gonna look like that I went back on myself, but that's what you want for the tension, because if you were coming up and down for each bead, you could sew it on that way as well, but this way you have sort of a continuity, because you're always going past the bead and you're coming back on yourself, so the line what you'll be stitching down is going to be really nice and straight. Lorna is saying A is a thinner for smaller beads or multiple thread parts of some bead. Yes, so super long comes in 2 thicknesses on our websites. You got D and then you got double A. Double A is a thinner one, so if I'm doing jewelry making, I would use double A for size 15s, or if I'm using size 11s, but the pattern requires me to go backwards and forwards a lot on my stitches, so for going backwards and forwards the same beads a lot, and I would use D if I work with size 11 or size 8 or size 6s. I just looped the thread around. Why? No, it's okay. I just thought I created a little knot. Or size 6s I would use D. So because this is a art canvas material, so this is what painters would use to paint their pictures on, it is quite a bit thicker. I have had embroidery kits in the past when they came on this really thin synthetic silky material, and when you're stitching it, it's quite, you're pinching the fabric together, and it didn't really look, I didn't really get on with as well as these ones, because the fabric is thicker, so it's got a sort of stiffness in it already, and if you were using a thicker thread, it would be hard to pull it through every single time of the canvas. So the thinner thread, the double A, is better. And as you can see, I use the blue one here, so it just sort of disappears into the picture itself. And you just keep going. So that's all you're doing. You're jumping always ahead one, coming up just between the 2 beads there. Oh, Margaret say, yes, I've already started a Christmas one. Oh, bless. Please put a picture up for us in the Totally Beads Handmade. I love to see which one are you doing. So jumped ahead, coming out between the 2 ovals, and then I'm going to jump back and go through the bead I just added, between that bead I just added and the oval next door, to add my next bead. And then you're gonna go again, you're gonna jump ahead a bead. Helen is saying you will be fine with this as it's printed. So yes, the little dots and ovals are printed on there, so it's really easy to follow. I know that with cross stitch sometimes you can get, if the pattern is, I think sometimes you can get one which is printed on the canvas, but most of the time you just have to make it up as you go along from the pattern. And sometimes it can be frustrating, but with this one, just scoop these beads down a little bit. With this one, the pattern is printed on there, and obviously where you're not stitching beads, that is the background you have for your picture. So it's all there. It's really easy to do. I am so hooked on it that I got 3 on the go, and now this little Christmas one is going to be the 4th one I'm going to be doing. But hey ho, they will all get finished. And something like this, because it's little and you only need, needle and thread, little snippers, your little canvas, especially with the smaller ones. You can take it with you and you can do it anywhere you go. Hopefully if you get some good weather, we can set it in the garden or go down on the beach. You can take it with you and just stitch your beads up on your canvas. So I'm just going to add the last one in this row, and then I'm going to show you how to turn to the next row, and that's it really. There is nothing more difficult about this. It's very easy, very enjoyable to do. Jodie's asking, how do you know where to start, top or bottom, middle? You can start with wherever you want to start. There is no right or wrong reason to it. I'm quite methodical, so I would start, if I do an end of a row, and then I would jump into this row and do this row and sort of go row by row. With the circle ones, when you're stitching diagonally, I would probably start at the bottom of the row, as I started with this one. So this one, I started right at the bottom row and I went along all the way, like you would be doing a cross stitch. And then I jumped up to the second row and come back on myself. So and if I show you the back of this, you can see the stitching where I was jumping ahead. Can you see it? When I was jumping ahead where I didn't need to stitch beads. So that's what the back of my canvas looked like. And here, when I had to jump bigger places, I did so. So I would do it that way. I would put the beads up by color group. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down on my mat in little piles. And then I would go along and do the beads, bead by bead, row by row, working my way up. Something is just really satisfying doing this when you see the beads growing and growing on your picture, and you just, well, it's me, I just want to sit there and I just want to stitch them all and do them all and carry on. Definitely one of those one row nice. Right, going back to this one. So this was your second stitch with the oval markings on your canvas. So it's a little bit different from the round ones. The round ones was the diagonal ones. These ones are when you stitch between. So I got to the end of the row and I want to come back on my second row. Now I'm going to start again between number 1 and number 2. So I'm going to go in between. You do get instructions with the kits, so they are, if you written instructions and diagrams how to do them. So I come up between bead number 2 and number 1, and I'm just looking, that's a different color there, so I'm gonna need color number 5. So let me just quickly grab color number 5. So this is what is so perfect about this, because the chart is there and you just need to, the bag's got the numbers on them, so you know exactly what you need to do. So I'm just going to pick up one color number 5, let this go all the way down. Then I'm coming up between 1 and 2. I'm going to step back and go down just the side of number 1 and pull this tight. And now I'm going to go and jump and come up between number 2 and 3. Lauren is asking question, would you add more beads to the rest of the picture if can match color and freehand placement? To be honest, because this is, you know, it's an art, so you can do whatever you like. It's same as jewelry making. You can have your own you know, you can have your own take on things. So if you wanted, you could add other beads, filling it up even more if you wanted. It's the canvas is there. This is just a guide. You do need to add the beads where your ovals and rounds are, because obviously you want to cover them up. But after that, what you do with it, you can take it further, add more little bits of pieces. If you had I'm just thinking out of the blue here, but if you had like little star beads, star-shaped beads, you could add it on there. You could fill it up your canvas as much as you want. You don't have to just do what is required. Right, so I'm just going to come up through between bead number 3 and number 4, and this is going to be the final one I'm going to add, and I'll show you how does the instructions look like on the back of the kit, or in fact in this kit which is opened. This is again has to be color number 5, so I'm jumping back, so I'm going down between the seed bead which is already on there and pulling this through. So don't forget, on our website, if you put ARBIS, which is ABRIS, you get 10% off of your kits. And that's it. And then I'm going to come up there and sort of following in a backstitch motion, going backwards and forwards, adding my thread. And as you can see, if I turn it around, there are my stitches. You can see it really nicely and clearly. But you're not going to see the back, you're only going to see the front. So let's have a look at this kit. Just a second. What's included in there? So as I said, with the kits where you got the seed beads themselves, the bags are all numbered up, and the numbers are all on the side of your picture as well, so you can really easily match it up. And let me just pour this back in there so I don't misplace them. So when you get your kit, you do get a little instructions in there, which is this is on English, and it shows you both of the stitches, what you have to do in diagrams. That's the one which is horizontally, you have to do it when you got your round dots on the picture, when you got your ovals, and this is looking at the picture sort of from straight from the side of it in an angle, you sort of stitching back on yourself, going round and round and round, and it's forming a really nice and strong and neat stitching on your canvas. So the beads are gonna sit very straight, and look at this one I did, how straight and how good they are sitting on there. I think, you know, something like this, if you wanted to make a very special Christmas present for somebody, or, you know, any of the other picture which is not Christmas themed, this is perfect, because with this, you're not just gifting something what they can put up on their wall or display it in their house, but you're gifting your time as well, that it's, you know, you made it up for them. And I love when people make something up for me, because it reminds me of them every single time. So I got a Christmas ornament which was made for me by a lady who's unfortunately no longer with us, but every single Christmas when it comes out of the box, it really makes me think of her. So I think it's just a really nice to make something to somebody, handmade something for somebody. It's a really nice gift to get. So yes, and in the larger kits, obviously you get like this one, you get, let me just move the camera up and down, you get more beads, and you get this going to contain more colors. Let me just take you down, sorry, wobbling camera. So we get a bit more space, like we can open this and I can show it to you. So let's just pop this with that one, because that's our lovely, and with this one you can see you got more colors in there, and I'm just going to open this up for you. Again, on the back of it you got instructions there how to do it. I'm just going to get this out for you, so turn it around. That's just the picture difference. As you can see, this is a bit bigger picture and has got much more colors of seed beads in there. So if I turn the picture around, we can see with this one we got 19 different colors of seed beads what we need to use. And again, you're not with this one, you're not beading the whole of the picture, you're just beading where your sort of circles or ovals are, and the two different stitch what you need to do on there. But you know, all the seed beads are there, the right amount, the right sizes for those kits. So it's really great one too, and you got the little needle at the top as well. So all you need is thread. So if I was choosing thread for this one, I probably would choose like a darker thread, maybe black one, or like a very dark gray to go with it. And then quite simply the thread will disappear on the background and you will have a really nice picture. But this is it. It's so great to do this, because, you know, I just keep, I I'm just really baffled about it, that I just want to sit here and I just want to stitch them on bead by bead. There's so many different ones. There's plenty of Christmas ones we do. There is an owl one. I love the owl one as well. There's a little scene. I just got a little collection in with all sorts of different designs because I didn't know what people would like. I just got the ones in what I like. This one is really great as well. I mean, you know, this one is quite good because it doesn't have... so that you don't need to bead a lot on it, and it can be done quicker, and it's, you know, it could be somebody's Christmas present you could give. Shirley's asking, Supelon, how do you know how size the thread for the project you're doing? Do you have a chart, or is this only one piece, one size? So if I show you the back of this, which I used quite a light sort of a creamy color thread, you can see that there is a lot of thread used on here, and on this one as well I used a white thread, but quite a lot of them used on there. So you would need a size of this canvas, you probably would need half a bobbin. So, but you can use, so I could use the same thread for like maybe two of the smaller pictures, or 3 of the very small ones, and you will need a whole thread for some of the larger pieces, which are like 30 by 40 centimeter in size. So, and it's the Supelon AA you want to get. And if you have got an embroidery hoop, like I got this one, it's really makes life easier because you got something to hold on to. You can just add your art in there, and then it's more, I had this one in there earlier, and it's more easy to hold on to your piece, and it's going to give you a nice and tight tension. I do have a really good tension, so I can do it without it, but if you are a beginner, do try, you know, one of these embroidery. I think you can get them from Amazon for probably about £2, or your local yarn shop should have one. They're just really little wooden ones, nothing really special. They do square ones as well. It's really up to you. You might only have one at home. Lucy's saying, never had a go at embroidery before. I'm excited to try this. Yes, do try, because it's just really enjoyable to do it. Something so satisfactory that when you go on this beads and do row by row, and your sort of your beaded part is growing and growing and growing, row by row. It's very addictive, I have to say. I just want to sit here and do it, and forget housework, forget everything else. I just want to sit here and stitch the beads on. I really enjoy it. Have a go at it. Some of the smaller kids, like, you know, for a £10–12, you can have a go and see how you like it. I can only recommend it because I really do love it. Glass frame or not, Jodie is asking us. It's up to you. Obviously, if you don't put in a glass frame, it's going to be, your beads are going to get dusty. However, if you look on the side of it, you can gently hand wash, the maximum temperature of 30 degrees. Do not rub and do not wring. So you can, I would probably just get maybe a damp cloth and wipe the surface down with it. So you could leave it without a glass, because then your beads are going to be showing really nicely. And if you wanted, you could put it behind the glass. It's entirely up to how you like to display your art. And the other thing as well, if you do get your canvas creased, you can iron it, but you have to iron it from the back side. You need to put a damp cloth on the top of your picture, and the maximum temperature of 100 degrees. So I think that's about silk temperature, and that will make your picture nice and crisp if you finished with it. So if you did crease it when you were doing it, don't worry about it, because you can iron it from the back, and the symbol is there. So you can do it with your, yeah, so it's just really, you know, it's a really nice and easy project to have a go at it. How do I clean if no frame? So once you finished it, you do need to frame it, and you do need to stretch it. I have got some frames I picked up from, I'm just looking up on the top of my cupboard there, because I've got quite a few there. So whenever I'm out, I do pick up stuff from Range and B&Q and places like that, you can get frames for £1.50 upwards. So, you know, a frame something like this shouldn't cost more than £2.50, £3 to frame it, and you can frame it yourself. You would either cut along the side, so because you don't need this part of the material there, and you're only framing the picture itself. And as you can see, you got a probably half a centimeter gap before the first bead and where your design, the painting is finishes, and that's what you would catch in the frame itself. So that's it for me today, really. There is nothing else. Let me just turn you back around. There is nothing else I can show you because it's really, really easy to do. You know, do have a go at it. If you have a go, do post some pictures of it. Oh, Margaret's saying, question, will the canvas crack if put in the ring? So I put this one in the ring. And let me just turn you back around, and let me pop the light back on. So I did put this one in the ring, and you can see, I can't see, the ring was sort of going. If I put it on the top, yeah, that's where the ring was. And if I take the ring out, you can't see it. So my one didn't crack at all. It stayed really nice. So Judith is saying, they are beautiful, but my old eyes wouldn't manage one. Do have a try, because you would think that if you can do cross stitch, then you can do this one as well. The only difference between stitches, you poke your needle at your mat and you pick up beads. Maxine is saying, thanks, Kitty, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. So today is actually our Victoria's birthday, so happy birthday, Victoria. She's 20 today. And if the weather holds out, it's becoming a bit overcast, but it still should be nice and warm out there. We're going to wander up to the high street and get a coffee and maybe pop into a shop or two today. So we're going to be doing that this afternoon. So that's it. Do have a go. Please share the video. I love to get other people, like new people, interested in the crafting. No matter what you do, it's so easy to do things that but sometimes it just, you know, when you got that penny drop moment that, oh yes, that's how I do it. This is not rocket science, and you can create a really beautiful piece of art here with only a couple of stitches. And some of the pictures only got one of the stitch on there, so you don't have to have both of them. So I think, has anybody got any other questions before I sign off? I'm just trying to go back on some what you've been saying, just some of the comments. I don't want to miss anything. So while I'm here, I can ask me. I see there's quite a lot of you having a little chats with each other, which is so great. I think you find like-minded people on here. Sheila's saying, thank you for bringing something different, Kitty. Yes, I absolutely love this. So when I said to Simon that, oh, I really want these ones, I want to buy them in, and he was like, well, what do you want? And I said, oh, no, they look really good. And when I actually came and he looked at it and we made some samples up. He said, oh, yeah, they actually really do look great. So tomorrow, what's on tomorrow? Tomorrow is going to be, Sarah's going to be with you. I think she's doing chain mail. Yes, I think she's doing chain mail. I haven't got my diary with me, and I'm going to be back on Monday, and we're going to be doing a pearl netted necklace. I've been dying to do this one using 10mm and 6mm pearls. It looks really, really great. I got quite a few colorways. I carried away again, as I would always. But that's going to be Monday. And I'll be here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I think next week, because Sarah is having her floors done. So the whole of her downstairs at home has been taken apart, and they're leveling the floor and they're laying the floor. So bless her, she's going to be probably doing a lot of tidying up after that anyway. So that's, and putting everything black in place. But how great is that when you have something like that done? I'm so jealous. I so want to done the hallway and some of our downstairs as well, but maybe later, hey ho. Right, so thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. This is it for today. Really easy, very nice project. Oh, Sarah has just popped in. Hi, Sarah. Do have a go, because they're really great to see, especially if you want the bigger one or the smaller one. Just have a go at it. You won't regret it. It's really easy to do, and you can display a nice art in your home, what you made yourself, and how great is that? Do have a lovely day. Share our video. Put a picture up if you make anything. I love to see what you're making. And oh, morning, Sarah. They were saying morning to you, lovely. So that's it. I'll see you on Monday. Sarah's going to be with you. Oh, Sarah's saying, so sorry, I missed you. No worries. I know you got a lot on your plate at the moment. Trying to empty your downstairs and doing bits and pieces, but I'll give you a call later, because I'll need to. I missed you yesterday because we run off to IKEA and I didn't get a chance to phone you, so I'll phone you later. Right, everybody, have a lovely day today. Sarah's going to be with you tomorrow. I'm going to be with you on Monday. Have a lovely weekend. Keep on beading, keep on crafting, and check out our kits. 10% off the kits with the code word ABRIS, ABRIS, from the whole embroidery range there on, and just give it a go. You won't regret it. Bye.